Good morning, students, and welcome back to the next session of compiler construction. So, in the previous class, I have already covered you the first chapter of Unit 1 of compiler constructions. So, today I am going to start a new chapter on compiler construction of Unit 1. So, previously in the last chapter, we have discussed the basics, the introduction on compiler constructions. So now I'm going to explain you the next chapter, that is scanning. So basically everyone knows what is scanning, right? So scanning is what? The first process or the first phase of compiler. So we will be discussing completely on scanning method, that how a scanning process will perform whenever you are giving a source code. Why? Because when you are giving a source code, so the scanning is the process, is the phase of compiler which takes the input from the high level language. Now what the topics we are going to cover in this chapter is, we need to learn first the scanning process. So totally the first topic is about the process, how the scanning will perform, and in scanning we will be going to discuss two things, that is regular expressions and finite automata. So these two are related with scanning process, and with relate to these two topic we have that how a regular expression can be converted into deterministic finite automata. That means first we will be learning what is regular expressions, and we will be going to see the example of regular expressions, and with that the next we will cover on finite automata. So after getting clarity on both of that, we will be in a position to perform, or we will be in a position to do the regular expressions conversion from regular expressions to deterministic finite automata, that is DFS. Now we, at the end of this chapter, we will be going to generate a scanner using Lex. So these are all the topics which are going to be get covered in this unit. Now the first thing is, before that I like to introduce you on the scanning process. So as you know that scanning is what? The first phase. So here the scanning is the first phase. You can also term this as lexical analysis phase. I will be saying you why this is called to be as lexical analysis phase. Okay. So what this has to be done by this phase here is, whenever a compiler will take the source code or the source program as an input, so what happens, as you know that source code is what? The collection of characters. So such characters will be divided into group of tokens. What is the work of this scanning is, taking that file or taking that source program, which is a source program in the sense lines of codes, collection of lines of codes, and using that as an input, it converts into group of tokens. It separates different tokens into different categories. So that's why you can see that here what happens here is, whenever it divides into group of tokens, so how it performs here is, it performs based on the process of pattern matching. What the scanner will do here is, based on the process of pattern matching, it will divides into tokens. So now in order to learn about the pattern matching concepts, or how the pattern has to specified and how the pattern has to recognized, we need to learn the concept on regular expressions and finite automata. Because for regular expressions, in order to specify such patterns, we have to study on regular expressions. Now we should why we need regular expression is because, in order to specify the patterns, we need to learn this regular expression, and in order to recognize the pattern, we have to know about the concept on finite automata, because both of this will apply in the process of scanning. Okay. both of this will perform into the process of scanning. The one is to specify and one is to recognize. What they used to specify, recognize? The pattern, because here the scanner will completely deals on the pattern. So now first we will need to know the scanning process. So what is the function of scanner? As I said you that it takes a source code as an input. So through source code what will take? It will read characters, because a source code, a group of lines of codes, is a collection of characters. So it has to read all of those characters, and what happens here is as soon as it reads the characters, it converts into logical units, into different logical units, and such logical units are called as tokens. What they are called as? Tokens. So if someone says you what, or if you want to know like what are tokens, means that are logical entities, not they are physical, but they are logical entities, and that are defined in enumerated type. Okay, it will be defined as enumerated type. So for that, if you take this example here, we have taken enumerated data type, that's why we use as enum here. In that I have used through typedef, and there is a list of this data type. So in that you may find the keywords, you may find the special symbols. So here if I say if then else is of keywords, and plus and minus are what? The special symbols, and other tokens can also be there, that is numbers or identifiers. Okay, so you can, whenever a number has to represent, you can use this one. Whenever if I want to represent identifier, because in a source of code what will have, if you just consider a basic language, let us say a C language, if I am taking a code on C language, what the concepts you may find, you will be finding special symbols, right? Special symbols will be there, or else keywords will be there, or else identifier will be there, or else numbers will be there. Okay, I mean like characters will be there. So all of these combinations will form an enumerated type. So all these are called as tokens. What they are called as? Tokens. So that's why the tokens are not just specified to a single category, whereas it has been divided into different categories. So you can say that, like as I said, if then else are reserved words, I mean like they are keywords. So if they are reserved words, they have the specific meaning. So the first category on which token will be categorized is your reserved words. So if, or then, or else, or whatever the reserved words, whichever you are using for a specific purpose and which doesn't have any other purpose apart from that purpose, are all are come under reserved words category. So what they are represent, even that also represents string, such as if I take here, like here if is there. So here now what is this represents? Strings. What is this then? We represent strings. That means reserved words also represents the string of characters. Okay, so here if is a string of characters, and that is reserved words. Even then is also a string of characters. So that means here you are taking a string of characters. If you go with the next category in special symbols, any symbols are there, okay, any operator symbols you may assume. So such kind of symbols, like here you are representing where plus as in this character representation, this one, even this one, or else even this one, or any other special symbols which will be that will come under in this category. And I said the third category is about numbers or identifiers. ID represents for identifiers. So now numbers, any kind of numbers, wherever you want to represent here, like a constant, if you take a constant value in your program, right? So that constant value, I mean like that represents a number. So when it represents a number, so it will come under other tokens category. Even if I am taking identifier, I am giving a name of a variable, I am taking a name of an array, I am giving any name to any variable or any specific purpose for which identifier is used. So all of this will come under the tokens category. That is how the third category. So in this way the categories of tokens has been formulated. Now what we need to know here is we need to understand that how these tokens and strings are get interconnected, or what's the relation between among both of them. For example, like a token is what? A category. Okay, so a category, a name of a category, like here it is, like we have taken as reserve words as one category, special symbol as one category, and some other tokens as one category. So here if I am taking num, for example, if I am taking this num means, is there any specific number here? No. Number means any kind of number, any value of the number, are the value of the token, but the category is your number. So that means token means you are representing the category here. Okay, or else if I take identifier, here ID is there. Is there any specific identifier is specified here? No. I just said that a category of identifier has been taken, so that come under your identifier. So that's why I am not specifying any specific example here. I am just saying you the categories here. So that's why if you see here the string, the string is something the category, but the string value is not the token, but the string value is your called as lexeme. What it is called as? Lexeme of token. That means, for example, number is there, right? A number is there, the value of a number is the lexeme of a token. Okay. For example, I said string. String is a category and the value of the string is your lexeme of token. That means for each token category you may have different lexemes or collection of lexemes. Lexemes are what? The values of the tokens. For example, some tokens have only one lexeme. I said reserve words. See, now if I say this if, instead of if, like if is a category, but the value is also if only here, right? Isn't it or not? If I am taking then is a category, but the value is also then. So that's why in this category we just have only one lexeme. We don't have a group of lexemes here, isn't it or not? Why? Because for the tokens for reserve words have just one lexeme, but there are some different tokens where we may have multiple lexemes. So that is something like I have explained you just now as numbers or identifiers. So even that also can be there. So tokens doesn't mean that you may have group of lexemes. You can have also one lexeme or else more than one lexeme. And a token may have infinitely many lexeme also, like token identifier. You can have multiple identifiers, right? Is there any limit for that? No. So that means you may have infinite number of times and you may have a single amount of time. You can have multiple amount of time. It all depends on the token or the category of token what you have taken for your, like in your source code. So whatever the value which is associated token is called as attribute of token. Very important point here. What is attribute of a token? The value of a token is called as an attribute of a token. For example, string is your token. String value is your attribute. Okay. Like here, if you see in the second example, a num is a token, right, which represents any number. Okay, which represents any number. So if I am taking a string value, that is 32,767, now this becomes as what? Attribute here. Or else instead of string, if I take a normal number, that is 32,767, then also it is also calls to be as an attribute here. Okay. Or else if I take plus as a token, now for the third one, plus is the name of the category of the token. It can have a string value in this way, it can have a string value, also it can have arithmetic operation, because if you don't take in double quotes it becomes as operator, right? And if you take in this double quotes then it becomes as a value, string value. So that's why, so all of these are the attributes of a token. So what you can say is that the token is what? The collection of attributes. Plus token is there, plus you may have plus is there, plus operator is also there. A num token is there, let us assume you may have multiple amount of numbers. So that means you are collecting different attributes. I mean you can say that a token is how the collection of different attributes or group of attributes. What we need to do here is we need to compute such attributes to allow further processing, because what is our requirement is whatever the input which we have taken from the high level language into this first phase, what is that lexical analysis phase, okay, in that we have to just distribute them into group of tokens, okay. So in that sense it has to be performed. Now there may be some practical issues you may happen. For example, like if I am taking a one structured data type which can have all attributes of a token. For example, you may have a token value. If you see this structure, you may have several members, such as if you say token value is one member which have token value, which also have string value, because you can have as a string, or else without string, if I take simply you can have a value, or else simply you can have any integer number value. So that is why a token can have different types of values. It can be either a token, it can be either a string, it can be either any value, or it can be either any other value, it can be either specifically integer value. So all of these three members forms what? Token record. What they form as? Token record. Token record is something collection of attributes of token. What is that? Token record is what? The collection of attributes of a token. Now for example, here in order to get the value from the given set, which method we are using? Get token method we are using, okay. What we are using? Get token method function we are using here. So for example, this is my expression, okay, and this is your input buffer. For example, input buffer, now input buffer may have extra space. So now this arrow, what is this arrow represents for? This arrow represents for next address, okay, or else you can say next value. It points to the next value. So next value pointer actually it is. What is this? Next value pointer. As it is initially is an empty, that is why here it is pointing towards this one, okay. Now whenever a get token method will be called, I mean like function will be called here, what happens here is simply it skips 4 positions here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means 1 means it will come here, again it will 2, 3, 4. So that is why you can find why it is coming here instead of coming here, because it always points to the next value pointer. That means whenever you get token has been called, A has been retrieved. So in order to get A has already been taken here for the first time, and now this next pointer will be provided here for the next value. So what happens here is get token will be called until it reaches to the end here, okay. Here also as in empty, it skips here, here it skips. So in that sense it completes here, okay. So in this way the scanner works here. Why what happens here is because it has to read the characters, right? It has to read the characters, so it's just an input buffer, but the actual position starts from A here. So that's why it reads the character and it increments the pointer by using this function get token. So in this way it works here, and that's why you can have either a string, you can have either an integer number, or you can have any sort of values over here. So that's why it is a collection of different types of values, so it forms a token record. In that sense this will work here. Okay. Now this is just about the scanning process, but I said you that in order to study the methods of pattern specification, what is that? In order to study the methods of pattern specification, how can you specify the patterns? So this study will be performed by regular expressions. So now the next topic of this chapter here is the regular expression. So what is regular expression? First thing is, regular expression, what it represents are the patterns of string of characters. Okay, every a group of a program is what? A group of lines of codes, and each line of codes can have a group of characters. So that characters forms a group of characters forms a string. So in order to represent such patterns of strings of characters, what we are using here is regular expression. Okay. Now what this regular expression, you can denote this as R. Regular expression can be denoted as R. It is completely defined. How can it completely defined? By the set of strings it matches, because the string is just not a single string, rather than it has a group of strings or a set of strings. So how this regular expression work here is, the set of string it matches, okay, that should be matched, and the set is called the language of the R. That means set of strings is called as language of regular expression. That's why it will be denoted as L of R. Okay. So L of R represents set of strings. Language, but it is set of strings, not a single string. It can be a group of strings. And the set elements referred as symbols. Okay, the elements in the sets are referred as what? Symbols here. And the set of legal symbols which are valid are alphabets and are written as Greek symbol. So that means initially the set of symbols, whatever you are using, for example, like you can use A, comma B, comma C. So that means you can use all of this is what? The set of legal symbols. Okay. So you can use here in the regular expression. Anyhow, I will be giving you an example here, so that you will get a clarity more on that. Again, if I say the next point here is regular expression R, what it contains are the characters. Okay. So the characters, it can be from the alphabet. What these characters actually represents? They represents or indicates patterns. Okay. Okay, so that pattern we need to study. What the pattern? That pattern we need to study in the regular expression. And in regular expression, what happens here is it contains special characters. Okay. In order to perform communication between two regular expressions, you can use special characters. So that special characters you can call as meta characters or meta symbols. Okay. And you can also use escape characters, and that can be turn off the special meaning of meta characters. If you want to turn off any special meaning of any meta character, if you use escape character there, then it just turn off that special meaning of the meta character. Okay. So example here is like backslash or any quotes you can take here. Now going to the definition of regular expression. So first we need to see about the basic regular expression. Okay. So basic regular expression here, for example, the single character from alphabet. For example, if I am taking just only a single character A, let us assume I am taking a single character A here. So that's why if I want to represent a language on the regular expression, so I am using L of A, and this L of A represents a set of only single value A. Why? Because I just have only a single character. Okay, I just have only a single character. And if suppose if I want to denote empty string, okay, in a language, if I want to denote an empty string, I can use epsilon. What I can use here? Epsilon. So this epsilon indicates that empty string. And if I don't want to take any string, that means no matching of any string at all, then I can use pi symbol. Phi symbol. You can use either this one or else simply a curly braces without having any value here, because this represents no string. Okay. So these are the basic terms which we are using now in the basic regular expression. Now if I say operations, regular expression operations. So regular expression operations, see I said you, in order to perform operation between two regular expression, I should use meta character. It's not always, okay, at some position there is no need of using meta character also. For example, like if I want to choose particular option, if you see this example, here it is, okay. Here L of R or S, in this one I am saying or S, okay. So or S means it is actually union operation. That means if it takes the string either from R or either from S, okay, or either from S. So that's why you are using meta character here. So this is your vertical line. So this vertical line, here it is. This is your vertical line which represents for union operation or operation. And if suppose if I want to concatenate two regular expressions, then I shouldn't take any character, meta character, because I said that meta character sometime it may require or sometime it doesn't require. Like here, if you see this example S1 S2, so this means that concatenation of S1 with S2. Are there any is there any meta character between S1 and S2? No. So that's why concatenation symbol, concatenation process doesn't require any meta character, okay, doesn't require without meta character also. That's why that position of without having any meta character is called just a position, this one. So that is concatenation symbol, okay. So like for example concatenation symbol, like I may say you example also here. For example, if I am taking a set S1 with two values A and B, okay, and if I am taking set S2 with again two values A and BB. Now concatenation symbol, how it works? Firstly, I said that there is no meta character between them. So S1 S2, Concatenation means concatenating, adding the value besides the existing value. So how you can take here is, first for example, like I am taking here a is the first value, so I am just concatenating this one with this one. So here a, then again this a you can concatenate with this b, or else if I will take here b, I can concatenate with this one ba, or else I can concatenate with this one, so I may find b. So in this way it works here. This how concatenation here. So this is how one regular expression which set S1 and set S2, and this is how concatenating string. Okay. So that's why this concatenation means without meta character you can represent them. Now the next thing is repetition, closure, and here you are using meta character called clean closure. Okay. So what we are using this as clean closure. So this clean closure, how it represents here? Clean closure means it's something like repetition. For example, if I am taking a set called A asterisk, it means here I can have the first as epsilon because it is empty set, A, so on like that. Okay. So repetition of A. Initially why I am taking empty, because in repetition if I am taking clean closure, okay, that is you can call as asterisk, generally you may call as, but here you are calling clean closure. If you are using clean closure, then you are calling this as, we have the first value should be taken as epsilon, then a, and so on, you are repeating the value. Okay. So that's why you can use this one, or else you can use for example, if you don't want this epsilon, then you can use in this way also, a, so on like that. What is the difference between this clean closure and this is called as clean plus? So what you can, what is the difference between there here is, here you are taking epsilon and here that means you are using empty, you are using empty string here, and here you are not using any empty string, simply you are starting with A. So that means if I say in that way, so like for example, like if I use you know A star, it give you as A plus, isn't it or not? Why? Because here the first position is epsilon, but in the repetition here, if I am taking first here as A, so that is why this will become as A plus. Okay. I mean clean plus here. So in that sense you are taking here. Okay. So like that, this is how the repetition process. So repetition or closure will be indicated by meta character, this one. This is called as clean closure. So this is how are the expressions. Now first thing is what we have seen. What is the first part which we have seen now? Choice among alternatives. Now we will be studying what is choice among alternatives. Just now I said you, like for example, if R and S are two regular expression. What is that? R is one regular expression, S is one regular expression, and if I take R, okay, if I take R or S here, R or S, is a regular expression which matches any string that is matched either by R or by S. Okay, either by R, either by S. So in that sense you are taking. That means you can take any one of the strings between both of them. Okay. But so that's why you can call this a L of R or S, you can call as union operation. But they are called as union operation. And the simple example, you can see this example here. L of, for example, A and B are what? The two regular expressions. So here L of A union L of B, L of A contains just only A and L of B contains only B. Now if I am taking union operation here, so I can use either A or else B. Okay, either A or else B. So that means it is choice among alternatives, means two alternatives has been given. You can select any one of the given alternative from the given two alternative. That's why A or else one pattern, B also one pattern. So in that sense it will work. Now the second part is concatenation. What is that? Second part here is concatenation. So in concatenation, just now I have given an example here, right? So concatenation means, for example, there are two regular expression R and S, and RS here, RS is their concatenation. So that's why you can see here there is no meta symbol here. RS simply it looks like a single one, but there are R concatenated S or R concatenation S is what it means, that any string that is the concatenation of two strings. Okay, like I just now given an example, right? This example. So this is your example, like S1, like as you can take S1 here and S2 here. So you are combining this one with this one, this one with this one, this one B with this one, and B here. So first you are combining A, then you are combining AA, BB, then you are combining BA, then you are combining B, BB. So in that sense this concatenation works. And if suppose if this is the case, for example here three expressions are there, A, B and concatenation C. So how can you write here? Like this is OR operation and this is concatenation symbol, that is AND you can say. So AC you can derive as, and you can say as BC. And it is just not only that you can take only for two regular expression, you can take for multiple regular expression as well. Now the third thing, as I said you just now, repetition. Okay, repetition means here closure. So I have explained you clean closure, along with that I explained you clean plus, the difference. See, A star is there, okay, here A star is there. So A star represents for here epsilon comma A comma AA comma AA, so on, like that it is. So epsilon here it has been represented, or else you can represent in this way. Okay. So what you can term this as infinite set union. Actually it is what? Union operation only, right? What you are doing here? You are doing union operation. Union operation with the same value and infinite time amount you are doing here. That's why you can call this as infinite set union. What you can call this as? Infinite set union. Now this is regarding what we have discussed. Even I covered this one also, that what is A star, that means A clean closure and A plus closure. Okay. Now the next is about the precedence of the operation. For example, as I said, there are multiple regular expressions you can have. So what happens here is the priority, the precedence will be put into consideration. So the thing is that the standard convention what it follows here is the repetition has the highest priority or highest precedence. To whom? Repetition. After that you have next highest priority should be given for concatenation, and the next is you are given for union, which is the lowest priority. For example, if you take this example A or B C clean closure, so how you can represent? See, for the first priority should be given for repetition. So that is why what we are doing here is you are giving C clean closure in brackets, because the first thing which it needs to be evaluated is this one. What is the second priority? Concatenation. So BC, BC means here concatenation. So I should attach B here, right? Now this BC has completed, right? Now what is the third one here is the OR operation, that is union operation, which is the least priority. So that's why I may take this one again and I will add here OR and I will take A here. So in this way this will represent in this manner. Okay. So based on that it has to be taken now. Now for the next concept, if you see the name for regular expression. For example, here if you see if the, for example, digit, you have given a regular definition of the name digit. If you are taking simple like 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 so on up to 9 is what the regular definition. Now for example, if I am taking this expression, so how it performs here? Here it performs is something like, here I may take 0, okay, and I can take here as 0, 0 or 0, 1, 0, 2 or any combination of like that I should take here. So what happens, it becomes the that means like I have given the name digit for 0 to 9. So if I take here instead of 0 to 9, if I take digit here, and instead of 0 to 9 if I take digit here, what is the problem here is name cannot be used. So see this point, the name cannot be used in its own definition, especially when it is in recursively. Recursively means it is in repeating state, right? Because I am using what? This part. So it is recursively repeating, so name cannot be used in its own definition in this circumstances. Okay, you can opt for a different name. Now going to the main concept of regular expression is what? The definition of regular expression. So in the definition of regular expression, what we have to see here is first the basic regular expression, as I said you what it can have. It can have any single legal character, like we have taken A over there as an alphabet, and you can have a meta character. Meta character is to something to perform operations. We have epsilon, okay. For empty string also we have taken pi. So all of these are what will be taken first as an input. Now if R and S for example are two regular expression, so now the form R or S or R union S is also your regular expression. And if R and S are regular expression, then R concatenation S, simply RS, is also your regular expression. And if R is your regular expression, then you can use R clean closure is also your regular expression. Okay. And if suppose if you can write in parenthesis R, in this form also if you are writing, then also if R is your regular expression, then this R is also your regular expression. Okay. So in that sense, you can give any example also, like as I said, I have given you an example here, right? Like for R and S, if I have given here, it is, yeah, this example, okay, you can take this example here, and for RS, you can use this example. Here, if you take R, if you take S and it become RS, then you can use this example here. And R star also I have explained you, given an example here. Instead of R, I have taken A star, you can use R here. If you take R star, R clean closure, then epsilon, R comma, RR comma, like that you can have. It all depends on the value what you have taken over there. And simply if I am taking in a parenthesis also, then also it's considered to be as a regular expression. So what in this scenario, all of this considers to be as a regular expressions. Now we will be seeing the examples on regular expressions. For example, here the sigma contains the set. What is the set here? It contains 3 values. That means whenever you are forming a pattern, you should form a pattern of either A or B or C, because the input what you have given is only 3 characters A, B, C. That is it means here. So now what is the question here is, we need to set all of the strings over this alphabet, over the given alphabet A, B, C, and that contain exactly 1B. Okay. So exactly 1B. So if you see this expression, so this is your expression, okay, this is your expression in which you can have, you can satisfy this property. How? For example, like I said you, asterisk represents for empty string, right? Clean closure represents for epsilon. That means if even if you won't take any value also, it will be valid. So that's why, how can I take the set here? The first thing is, for example, if I am not taking any value, because clean closure means epsilon is also there, means I am not taking any value. Here also epsilon means I am not taking any value, simply I am taking B here, the first value. Now for example, now if I am taking any value, for example, if I will take A here, after A or C, any value, any one value I am taking here, level 1. See, there are many levels, because in repetitions you can have, you can represent them as levels. So in first level means for the first time when it is performing is your 1 level. If it is you are repeating for the second time, that is second level, and if you are repeating for the third time, it becomes a third level. So for the first level, when it is repeating for the first time or one time, so I am taking BA. Now BA here, BA is there, first I am taking B, next I am taking A, after that again B is there, again I can take C, or else I can take something around like C, because A I have taken, so I am taking C. Now I can take B, and here I have taken C, means I can take here A, like that. And similarly, for example, if I am not taking any value here, if I am taking epsilon, means I can have B initially, then I can have A, I can have A, and as it is repeating for the next time, I can take either A or C, means I am taking AC. If I am repeating again, I can take C. If I am repeating again, I can take A, so on, like that. There are various combinations also I can take. So for example, now if I am taking here this part, so A, again if I am repeating this one, second time if I am taking, I can take C, again I can take C. Now if I am taking B here, so I can take B here. Now if I am taking epsilon here, I can take also like that, also I can take, so I am not taking any characters here. So in this way, the pattern, if you see all of these patterns, what you can find here is only you just have a exactly 1B. here 1b, here also 1b, here also 1b, here also 1b, here also 1b. So that's why it is satisfying this example, this condition. Okay. Now the next example here is, what is the second example here is the set of all strings that contain at most 1b. If you see with the previous example and this example, there is one difference. In the previous example, you have just exactly 1b. 1b means you cannot take 0b. That means if you won't take any b also, then also it becomes invalid, and you cannot take more than 1b. But here in the second example, you cannot take, you have to take only at most 1b means you can take 1b, or else if you won't take any b also in the given pattern also, then also it's valid. But it should not be more than 1, at most it is. So it can have a single b in your patterns, or else it can have it won't have b also. So if you see this regular expression, in this one, if you are taking here, like if you see this part, you can take either A or C or any combination of A or C, so there is no B here. Here also if you see, you can take either A or B, C, there is no combination of B, but here 1B you are taken here, and here also A or C. So here according to this expression, you are getting 1B here, and you are not getting more than 1b, because this b is only 1b here, rest of all other than b, that is either A or either C. Okay, so any combinations which are there are not of b, only b will be here, so only 1b will be getting in this regular expression. Okay, or else you can take another regular expression. In this regular expression, what happens here is, here if you see this first part, you can take either A or else C, okay, like that. For example, A is there, okay, and if you are repeating for the next time C, okay, and here if you are taking here, if you see the second part, either you are taking B or epsilon, okay. For example, if I am taking B also, so only single B will be taken here, okay. And if suppose if I am taking this part, you are taking either A or C, A or C, like that. So here also you are getting only 1B, and if suppose if you will take epsilon here instead of B, then you are not getting this B also. So that means even then also this is valid, because at most 1b it is saying, here it is exactly 1b. To this expression will not be valid to the example 1, because here if I take epsilon means I am not taking b here, but here in the first example I need only 1b. So in that sense, so this is how second example of the given regular expression. Now for the third example is quite different. The third example is something, what is the condition here is, the set is here AB, only the combination of patterns is either A or B, the first thing, this is your input, and the set of strings, this is your set of strings, what it is forming here, it should consist of single B, okay, surrounded by the same number of A's, here. So here according to this condition it is satisfying, but the problem will be here. What is that problem here is, here this condition is becoming as infinite condition. That means what happened here is, whenever if you take a to the power of n and b or a to the power of n, such kind of values, instead of taking asterisk, if you take this, then it won't be considered as regular expression. So it will not be as a regular expression. Why? Because regular expressions should be in such a way that, for example, if I want to make this as regular expression, how should I make here? I should make A clean closure, B into, B A closure. If I take in this condition, then it becomes as regular expression. Because closure, if I take closure, then there is no condition that if I am taking here that many A, for example, if I am taking here 2A, it does not mean that I should take 2A here also in this condition. If I am taking 2A here before B, it does not mean that I should take 2A here only, but according to this condition, if for example n value is 2, A square, so if I am taking A here as 2, here also A will be 2. So such conditions like will not be considered as a part of your regular expressions. And this example can also be proved by the process called as pumping lemma. Okay. So this pumping lemma, generally what happens here is, pumping lemma is to check the irregularities of regular languages, regular expressions. Okay. So that can be proved using pumping lemma process as well. But simple, as I said you that here if I am taking A, this closure property, and if I am taking here A clean closure, B A clean closure, if I am taking here, that means for example if I am forming here like A, here I can take A, and if I will take A here also, then also it is not at all problem. That means it can satisfy the condition of this one also, surrounded by the same number of A's, but there is no such condition that this I have taken, that the number what I have taken here should be same here also. There is no such condition, should not be taken by the regular expression. And what are regular sets? What are regular sets? Regular sets are the set of strings, okay, set of strings in a language for a regular expression is your regular set. Now going to the next example 4, what happened here is the strings contains no 2 consecutive B's. Now this one the input set is, the string pattern should be either a combination of A, B or C. So if you see the first regular expression, it is showing that it is not the correct regular expression. That means this regular expression is not satisfying the condition. What is the condition? That it should not contain no 2 consecutive B's. But here what happened to this regular expression here is, as you know, this whole closure is there. That means the precedence should be given to the clean closure. So that means we are not concentrating to the union operation, we are not concentrating on to the concatenation operation first, we need to concentrate on the clean closure first. That is why if we consider this B aspect here for clean closure, that is repetition, that means B can have B single B also, it can have 2 B's also, it can have 3 B's also, right. So such kind of combination, here you are getting 2 consecutive B's, here you are getting 2 consecutive B's, that is why it will not be a part of, that means this is not satisfying the given condition. Even if you see the next example, in the next example also the same process, what happened here is whole closure it is there. So that is why if you perform this first repetition process, then B will be repeated, can be repeated for many number of times. It means if B can be repeated for many number of times, that means consecutive B's can also happen in this expression, in this regular expression. So that is why both of these are not satisfying the above condition. Now what will be the correct regular expression? If you see this example carefully, if you see this example here, what you can find here is, for between every 2 B's we have any different characters. For example, if I am taking A or C or B, if I take A here, okay, A, then I am taking combination B, AB, Next, if I am taking combination as A, repeating, right? If I am taking BA, and again if I am taking for the third time repeating, right, BC, and the last one is here if I am taking B, let us assume. Okay. So you can find that in this patterns there is no B which is in consecutive manner, because in every two B's you may find either A or you may find either C. Here you are getting A, either you are getting here you are getting as C, either you are getting A. So in that way it performs. Similarly, you can also take this expression. In this expression also, for example, what is the B or epsilon? That means if I am taking epsilon means I am not taking the value, any value here, simply I am considering this value. So the pattern will be A or else AAB or else A AB and again CB. Okay, like that the pattern is there. So you can find, you can see here between two B's here you are getting C here. Here also it is satisfying the condition. Okay, there is another way also you can take. For example, wherever A or C you are taking, you can take as not B. Okay, wherever A or C is there, you can take as not B. So here also you can specify not B means A or C, then or B A or C. Okay, here not B means you can take A or C. Here also not B means you can take A or C. If you see this, you can also find that there is no consecutive B in this expression. Okay, because if you take C here, here B is there. So B, and again if here B is there, let us assume. So between this B and this B, you may have either A or C. Okay, so that's why this is also one of the correct regular expression which satisfies the above example. Now for the last example, fifth example, you can see here that this is how one expression has been given with an input set either A or B or C. So what happens is the string contains an even number of A's. Okay, so this string contains even number of A's. Isn't even number of A's means here it can be AA, it can be AAA, it can be either AAAAA, like that. So all of the combination will be in even numbers only. Okay. So this example is of that case. So if you expand this, you will get here in that manner. Okay. Why? Because how you are getting, because for example if I am taking A here, okay, if I am taking A here and if I am taking A asterisk here, what happens here is A, when it combines here, you may find A asterisk means repetition on that. So you can find, you can write as even number of A's. Okay, or else the same regular expression you can also write in this manner. Okay, so in this manner also you can write here not A, because wherever B or C is there means you can take not A. Here wherever B or C means you can take not A. Here also B or C means you can take not A. So in that sense you can say that the strings can contain an even number of A's here. Okay, so this is regarding regular expressions. So this regular expression is how will denote the pattern, that how a pattern can be performed. So basically I already said you about this, that how the pattern has to be specified is the part of your regular expressions. Okay, so in the next class we will be seeing on the concept of finite automata. Okay. So, I will conclude this session. Thank you.